Shalom, family. Good to see everyone here. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about this march that mainly Latinos and Somalians had on Selma. And I can tell you they did absolutely nothing original. Everything they did was a ripoff from us, but it fell flat. They don't have our enthusiasm. They don't have it. They don't have our fire. So you're going to hear them chanting. They're going to actually sing We Shall Overcome. And y'all, for people they claim don't have a culture, they sure do a lot of copying off of us. That's all I got to say. According to all of these immigrant groups, we have no culture. But I'll be damned if they are always out here duplicating us, duplicating what we say, duplicating what we do. Okay, I doubt if anybody really paid attention to this big forehead march in Selma. And it's not going to get the attention they're looking for. Number one, the country is trying to get rid of you. So they're not trying to hear you. I'm surprised ICE did not show up. They must have been left in the dark about this march. I'm surprised they did not show up. But ICE may be scarce, y'all, at least until this government shutdown is over. And the reason why I'm saying that is they're talking about putting ICE in airports. And the reason why is because so many TSA officers are calling out on a regular basis, and they're so shorthanded that I read today they're thinking about putting ICE up at the airports, and we know how that's going to turn. Boy, that's going to be really interesting. So I they may be occupied at least for quite a bit. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to show you this march. It is wow. That's all I got to say. Wow. And then the Latinos, they all chanted, and then the Latinos chanted in Spanish. And to me, if you're trying to stay in a country, you should speak the language, especially in protests. It's just like y'all show up for protests with your foreign flags. Yeah, well, they never disappoint with that. Y'all show up with your foreign flags, and now you're chanting out in the streets in Spanish. I just don't think that's going to go over well. So, anyway, y'all, how are you having any civil rights violations? Okay. If you came into the country illegally, you broke the law. So, I don't know how civil rights pertains to you. If you have been scamming the country, I don't know how civil rights pertain to you. I'm failing to see where these people got any rights. It makes no sense. Instead of being out in the streets, you really need to go home since many of you come from locations that are in shambles. Now, this is your chance to go home and fix up your nation. And you all should do it. You sure know how to talk big shit to us. So you need to go home and fix up your country and stop fighting for civil rights in a country that's deporting you. Okay? I just don't know what y'all were thinking, but no, what y'all are going through is not a civil rights issue. It's not. It's very much an immigration issue, not civil rights. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see here. So, Okay, y'all, give me a one if you can see my screen. Thank you.
But the movement transformed from then and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity. Keep hope alive. 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 Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Somebody! 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 Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
I never thought in a million years that I would ever see Somalians, Mexicans, Nigerians, and all these immigrant groups come together and march together. I never thought I'd see this shit. Watching that video had me dying laughing. I swear, dude. And especially these people marching in Selma. Now, all these groups of people I name are anti-black. They don't like black people. But it's mighty funny that now they marching and singing old nigga spirituals. You know how crazy they look, y'all, to see a Somalian singing old nigga spirituals, bro? You know how crazy it is to see a Mexican sing old nigga spirituals in Spanish? You know how crazy it is to see immigrants marching and then using Jesse Jackson as their banner. They marching with Jesse Jackson on the front. Y'all are pathetic. Y'all have the most anti-black hatred next to the white man. And all of a sudden y'all want to link up with y'all want to ride the wave of black American history during the civil rights movement. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive during the civil rights movement. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive Selma. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive Montgomery, Alabama. Y'all wouldn't be able to survive none of that. Getting dogs chased. Well, y'all, you know what? Some of you Africans might be used to getting attacked, but still, it'll hurt y'all feelings when the white boy do it to you. When the white boy do it to you, it's gonna hurt y'all feelings. It's gonna hurt y'all feelings. It's gonna hurt worse than anything. But boy, Africans, Nigerians, Mexicans, and all you immigrant groups that was marching, that was pathetic, sad, and I was happy to see there wasn't that many of y'all out there. It'll probably be about 75 of y'all out there. I'm just being nice. And to you black American Democrat supporters that was out there, shame on you. Shame on you. I hope your ancestors haunt you for the rest of your life. I hope your ancestors come from the toilet and scare the shit out you and make you have a heart attack. I ain't lying. Y'all them black Democrat supporters are pathetic. And I'm done.
Y'all, they're trying to erase the legacy of Bloody Sunday. You know how Black Americans marched from Montgomery to Selma for voter rights peacefully, only to be met by a violent mob of state troopers with tear gas and clubs? You know that legacy that's already solidified? They said they're moving that forward in the name of immigrant rights.
But the movement is transformed from then and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity. Somebody! 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 Oh, deep in my heart.
Y'all don't see it, but I'm puking in my soul because out of all groups, you telling me Somalis, decide to tether on to Black American legacy, these people that call Black Americans jurors, all the years that Ilhan Omar been in office, she never addressed her Somali community as Black nor African because they're Somali, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't tether on to a legacy that's already been solidified. You cannot carry this legacy forward because this was for the voter rights of Black Americans. It wasn't for immigrant rights. Find another movement, right? I got a lot of respect for the free watermelon people because they're original. They original. They found their own movement and carried out their own legacy. Why don't you find some of that? You know what I'm saying? Some originality. But yeah, this is disrespectful to me. This is despicable and quite disgusting. Find your own movements. Stop tethering on to Black American struggle because the Black American struggle does not run parallel to the immigrant struggle in this country. Again, Somalis.
But the movement has transformed from them and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity. Keep hope alive! 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 Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente.
Y'all, these people seriously don't know how to protest. They don't know how to protest. You're in the middle of Alabama. How many people in Alabama, Selma, understand what they're saying? Okay, it kind of defeats the purpose if you're speaking in a foreign language and the average person around there probably don't even know what you're saying. Number two, they're standing there talking about their rights. The only right you got is the right to get on that plane and go to hell home. That's the only right you got. Donald Trump took your TPS status away. He also got from the Supreme Court the right to take naturalization away from people that have their citizenship. And the rest of you are illegal. So, yeah, you do have rights. You got the right to pack your ass up and get the hell up on out of here. You do have that right. But what you're asking for in the streets, you did not go through Jim Crow. You didn't go through a situation where you were working and giving your labor and constantly being cheated out of your salary. That's what they did to our people, especially in sharecropping. They got cheated year in and year out. You did not pay tax dollars into a system, and they did not want you to have rights, or they kept everything segregated, where they made sure everything we got was horrible and everything they got was great. They used our forefathers' taxpayer money to build up these white neighborhoods all around this country. Wherever white people lived, everything was all nice, manicured lawns, new street lights. You know, they had nice paved roads. They used our tax dollars so that they could have nice neighborhoods. And those same tax dollars, our people were living in projects and ghettos and poor neighborhoods and were paying all kinds of tax money. So we had a right to demand change in this country because this country kept working us, taking our money, and didn't want to do nothing for us. But what is your reason? You came from somewhere else. Go home. Go home. You didn't go through nowhere near the struggle of those folks that were living and protesting through the civil rights movement. You didn't go through that. Wow, these people are a trip. They are a trip.
Somebody! 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 Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
This is the most disrespectful thing I've seen so far in 2026. Did y'all, let me read to y'all what it said on the sign, the big black sign with the white letters. It says, "We the people" means all people. And it says at the bottom, Immigrant Defense Network. This is All Lives Mattering Us. And it's done at the hands of people of color and deeply melanated immigrants. The Somali community has assembled immigrants, Latinos. I've seen a few European immigrants up in there, and immigrants from all over the world to hijack the civil rights movement. If this is not utterly disrespectful, disgraceful, and dangerous to you as a Black American, then you need to wake the fuck up. This all-inclusive kumbaya, this is out the door. These people are here to replace you. They are here to replace you. Now, no one is saying that they can't stand up for themselves, but what do you mean fight for our rights? And you're doing it under the guise of civil rights? Being an illegal immigrant is not adjacent, nor is it synonymous with your civil rights or your civil liberties being infringed upon. You do not have any rights in the country if you are not a United States citizen. It is a crime, hence the term illegal. Then at the bottom, it says Immigrant Defense Network. No one is doing anything to inherently harm immigrants. If you have your paperwork together, if you're not doing anything illegal, then chances are you're just living your life. And what really perturbed me the most, what really disturbed, I needed a woosah. The fact that that Somali man stood up there and said, the movement has transformed from them and then to us and now. They're blatantly saying, fuck you, Black American. Civil rights, which your ancestors fought for, bled for, died for, got hung for. We were getting unalive to even go when we were voting. A lot of us were not even claiming our heritage so that we could keep our lives. We left our towns and our communities behind so that we could stay alive and keep our lineage going. Those of us who are still alive today, we are the ones that survived. We are the ones that made it through. We are the product of the ones that fought and prevailed. So for these immigrants to come over here, this is making me so angry. Like, I feel very emotional. I have to calm down. But for these immigrants to come over here and steal a movement that was created, curated, fought for, and literally built on the bloodshed of our.
I know you guys seen that video of Jesse Jackson's son marching with Somalians and various other immigrant ethnic backgrounds, reenacting the Selma March for voting rights on behalf of my people. A lot of the people in our community find that that's very disrespectful, beings that any other day, I'm not saying as individuals, but a lot of people in general, with immigrant backgrounds or what have you, regurgitate the YT supremacist notions and rhetoric that Black Americans are criminals, Black Americans are baby mamas and baby daddies, we're culturalists, like I was talking about yesterday. You don't have any mutual respect for us, but then you want to take a page out of our book and use our ethnic legacy, our ancestors' legacy, to garner attention and sympathy for the problems that you're going through in this country as an illegal immigrant. It's one thing if you would have respect for us and have mutual respect, but you people do not have mutual respect for the foundation that was laid by my people and by our ethnic group of people, but you want people to feel sorry for you and rally behind you when you have problems. That's not how that works. And that's why we feel like it's disrespectful when you guys try to reenact that march or what have you.
Yes, he's right. But see, they use our culture because they know if they use something out of Somalian culture or Latino culture or Asian culture, nobody's going to pay attention to that shit. And they know it. I mean, if they went out there right now in the streets and did some kind of protest that they do in Somalia, nobody's going to pay attention to that. But look at the civil rights movement. It captured the country, y'all. It was the big news of the day. And they used to literally lead the news stories on the civil rights movement because it was that big. It was that big. They never had anything that they did that was that big, y'all. They don't have nothing. That's why they got to rip off us. They literally don't have anything. So, although they ripped us off, it still really didn't get a lot of attention. They did not capture the attention of the country like our forefathers did. They didn't come nowhere near that level. And like they said, illegals, you are here and you shouldn't be here, but you're out here protesting for civil rights. Civil rights really is not the appropriate protest for for them anyway. You know, their only struggle is ICE is running after them. That's about it. That's their only struggle. They don't have no struggles like what our people went through. They are just upset that ICE is running their asses down out in these streets now.
That's very, very disrespectful what y'all are doing. Because y'all never respect us any other day. We tell you to stop using the N word. We tell you to stop regurgitating these YT supremacist talking points that are detrimental to our community, and you still do it, acting like we don't stick together, acting like we're a degenerate class of people. But then you want to use our civil rights legacy to garner sympathy. That's bullshit.
So I did see when the immigrants went down to the Edmund Pettus Bridge and marched as if it were going to be another Bloody Sunday. It's not going to be Bloody Sunday because that happened with my forefathers, okay? And the only reason that the immigrants were able to march on the Edmund Pettus Bridge is because my forefathers got bloody. And it's an historic site, and I think it was not a good idea to do that. Um, because that history means a lot to Black Americans, and you don't want to go and say what I heard was said on the mic. That was then, and this is now. No, 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 no. We're not going to be doing that. Okay, but but to get off that, because I thought it was very disrespectful. You don't go do that. You don't go do that if you really respected Black America, and if there was a Black American there who decided that was a good idea. That was very disrespectful too, and you need to go sit down. But um why that's not going to work, why it's not going to garner as much attention as you want it to, because because Black America, the struggles of Black America and immigrants are different. Immigrants are trying, they come over to try and create a better life and to gain more rights sometimes than what they had wherever they were. Okay, which would then mean they would be challenging certain things. Okay, Black Americans were old. We're still old because we are the country. The slogans and everything about immigrants built America, that's a happy time slogan. Okay, it's not reality. And see, this is where reality and fiction meet and they clash. Okay, when they meet each other, it's going to clash because the reality is, though the immigrants went down to the Edmund Pettus Bridge to fight for what they call quote unquote freedom here in the United States of America, the reality is they didn't meet the force of the United States government. And I'm just keeping it real. They didn't meet that. When they go to vote and stand in line and can vote, they don't meet the full force of that brutality my forefathers met. See, that's the difference. Because we got pew-pewed. And that's why they call it Bloody Sunday. We got pew-pewed also when we were standing up voting. Okay? We got hit. Okay? They were full out massacres. Okay? In our history. Um, just for walking across the bridge. Mm-hmm. To secure rights that are owed to Black America. It's a difference between, and this is why immigrants cannot, and I'm saying this not out of any type of hatred or anything, nothing. It's just the truth. You can't latch on to Black America. You have to find your own path. You just do. Because no one's no I'm here to tell you as a Black American, no one's gonna take you seriously. No one's gonna take you seriously. I'm saying this is flat out. You can try to latch on, because everybody can see it, including the people in charge. They can see it. These people are clueless. They have no idea. You immigrants in the United States of America don't actually know what it took to fight um, one of most the most powerful governments on the face of the planet Earth. And that's why many immigrants don't take the time to learn about Black American history. They don't take the time to learn about Black American history, and they'll never know they don't look at it like it actually is. We Black Americans are the only people in this nation who have ever been able to do what we did. The only people. The only people. That's facts. You have other countries who can't move this country. Okay? And that's the amount of evil, my forefathers had to fight against. It's unreal. So when I saw them walking on Edmund Pettus Bridge, it wasn't. Don't do that again. And the songs they were singing and all that goes deep with Black America. Those aren't just songs. Those songs came with blood. Those songs came with lynchings. Those songs came with some of the worst atrocities
in global history. It's not about, oh, I'm coming over here to make a better life. That's not what those songs were about. I hate to say it like it wasn't what those songs were. We came over to the country to have a better life. No, those songs were getting out of the trenches songs. Those hymns, those Negro spirituals, those were how when we hear those songs, it's how we survived. It's how we survived. Those were survival songs. Those were another day songs. Those that was the faith and the hope. Those songs go deep with us. They're not just songs. About talking about we moved over here, we want a better life. We want this. It wasn't it. Don't latch on to Black America when you don't understand Black America. And if a Black American told you that was a good idea, it wasn't. It wasn't. I can tell you as a Black American, create your own way or you will never be respected. Never. Not by this government. I can tell you that flat out. Make your own. Everything you're doing is Black America can move things in the United States of America because whether you want to believe it or not, we are very much respected. People really think that we are not respected, but Black America is very much respected. Because I know something you don't know. I know something you, but when you sit there and try to latch on to us, we're gonna do this Black American, and then you turn around and not vote, and here's what's happening. You latch on to Black America to help you with your rights, your specific rights, yours. Okay? And want Black America to help. And then the same people who are trying to harm you, watch this, they're watching you not vote for Black America. You look, if you knew what that looked like, so ain't nobody gonna take you seriously. Nobody gonna take you seriously at all. Because you're not serious. Because if you really wanted Black leadership, but you don't. You just want help for a minute. And the help for a minute is for yourselves. And it shows. It shows. And that's just the truth. It shows. Figure that out.
Explain to me why it's okay for a bunch of immigrants to march on the way in America and steal money. That's what you're coming here for. Judy Law, what up there, Judy Law?
It don't have to be. This in our blood.
It
It's
ain't
in our
your house,
blood.
Boogie.
It doesn't, ma'am.
I believe that, we fought for them to come here to shit on us, as you can see.
But the movement is transformed from them and then to us and now. This is our moment because our time has come to defend our rights. This is one step in that great legacy. Let's march with solemnity.
Keep hope alive! 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 Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se siente, Minnesota está presente. Se ve, se siente, Minnesota está presente. Somebody! 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 Oh, deep in my heart, I do believe we shall overcome someday.
You know, I had a hard time just watching that clip. It just feels very disrespectful, and it feels intentionally disrespectful, especially with the climate of everything that's going on between people saying that Black Americans should be in solidarity with immigrants, and then them going down to Selma where our ancestors marched due to persecution, them trying to marching on that same bridge, to me feels intentionally disrespectful, regardless of how they try to flip it and make it seem like, oh, well, we're standing in solidarity and in honor of the civil rights movement, as if their struggles were our ancestors, our grandmothers and great grandmothers' struggles. Their struggles are not our people's struggles. So it's not even close to the same thing. I can't give y'all my unfiltered opinion on TikTok on this subject. So I'm gonna do another video and I'm gonna upload it probably tomorrow to YouTube, where I can actually say what I really want to say about this, because I can't say it without getting some type of flag or strike. But my thing is, what exactly inequalities are you fighting against? You, because you don't want to be investigated for fraud, because you don't want to be investigated for entering the country illegally without doing, you're fighting against having to file paperwork, immigration paperwork. Like, what exactly are you fighting for? Like, our ancestors went through absolute hell, and that's why they marched. What, like, to make it seem like it's the same thing, it's like a slap in the face. And I feel like they're doing that shit on purpose. I really do. My great grandmother was born in 1914 in Texas. She got it when she was right around my age, maybe a little older. She got into a car accident. Her face was disfigured. She could not, the only hospitals around were white only. She almost died because they had to try to find a Negro hospital because nobody would take her. Face disfigured. She had permanent scarring on her face. Face was messed up in a car accident. They would not save her life. That's the type of shit that our people were dealing with in this country. So to make it seem like your immigrant problems are the same and worth the same type of protest that ours were is completely nonsense. And for any Black American person, I don't know if there was any out there that egged them on to do that or supported them in that. It's just as bad, if not worse.
It's worse because all of these immigrants have some kind of slur for us. Akata, Jareer, you know, every single group, Barango. Look, y'all, every one of them got a slur for us, but it's amazing. They don't have one for the white man, though, but they got one for us. And no, it is offensive. You know, why don't you go home and protest those governments that keep your countries looking like garbage? That's what you should do. That's where you should be protesting. But protesting here, you are a foreigner from another land making demands on a government in a country that's not yours. Again, go home. Go home. All of you, you Nigerians, you um, Latinos, Somalians, go home and protest those governments over there and tell them that you want a better country. You want the country to look better. You want jobs. You want better pay. You want the country to be more modern and get out of those dark ages that you live in. That's what you should be doing. But your protest really is not going to get far. It's really not going to get far at all. So, Zachariah Williams, thank you for the super sticker. Again, thank you for the second super sticker and your support for my channel. Zakar Ya 3I-A, thank you for gifting 10 memberships. I deeply appreciate it. Y'all, I just can't bear to deal with these immigrants, man. Somebody out there in Selma should have called ICE. Y'all should have called ICE for real. You missed an opportunity. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. And I will have all new lineups tomorrow that we will enjoy. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. If you are not um, on the East Coast, then you're probably in Shabbat still. You might be. But I'm done with mine for this week. So if you are still in your Shabbat, Shabbat Shalom. If not, Shalom. And have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Shalom, family.